We are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace.
What's up, geeks, and welcome back to another episode of the Geekcentric Podcast. My name is Justin, and today we're all quarantined. That's right, it's been over 5 weeks of social distancing and almost 5 weeks since our last podcast. So today we're picking up where we left off with the return of Movie Kombat. But first, if you're joining us for the first time, this is a weekly podcast covering the world of film, television, gaming, toys, collectibles, and all things geek-centric. Joining me for today's episode, I have my lovely co-hosts. First, we have the lazy boy himself, Nate.
What? Lazy boy?
I mean, they're comfy, man. Don't take it back.
That's exactly it, man. It's comfy.
I guess I've been, just sleeping on my couch for the past. How long has it been? 5 weeks?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Before we get into that, Nate, I'd like to also introduce the dude who was social distancing before it was cool, Kevin Hudson.
Yeah, honestly, stay the hell away from me. 6 feet is minimum. Let's go.
Yeah. This
This
was his motto.
This is the new
before.
norm. So, yes, it has been 5 weeks, Nate, since we've actually done this and seen each other. God, it's been so long. And before we have our usual regimen where we get into what you, but I thought before we get into that, because I'm sure there's a lot that we can share, I thought I would just see how you guys are doing, because this is like the first time the three of us have talked, other than seldomly through the groups and stuff like that. So Kev, how have you been, man?
Honestly, we're doing okay. We're very, very fortunate. We're both working. And I think our main goal is to kind of regiment our weeks, right? Monday to Friday is normal. Work, do stuff in the evening, go to bed. Weekends we have a bit of fun. But we're trying our best not to turn a Tuesday into a Saturday and that sort of thing,
Right.
I think our goal is we know what day of the week it is every day of the week.
Right, because you have a schedule, you have regimen.
Yeah.
There are people that are constantly, like, you see all the people online saying, "Oh, I don't know what day it is," and
that's
just
me.
because everything everything blends together. But you're right, I feel the same way too. At least work has been able to give that Monday to Friday feel,
and we're fortunate for that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't take it for granted. That's for sure.
Yeah, and Nathaniel, what have you been up to?
I listen.
He's the Saturday is a Tuesday, whatever guy.
Exactly. I'm hearing Kevin talk about these people, and I'm like, am I these people? Absolutely.
Because you think about it though, you kind of are, because like right now, especially like you're off work.
Yeah.
You're still obviously getting paid for some of that time, but that's also transitioning for you, so you will start to be working again. Fairly soon.
Yeah. We started figuring out how to do the work from home within the company I work for. So it's gonna get me back on track. I've started going to bed on time lately, and I've started waking up on time. Melatonin helps a lot, but I've been pushing myself to try and fall back into a regular schedule. Yeah, a regimen, because realistically, I've ordered a few things that we'll talk about a little bit later on the podcast, why I've ordered some things. But I've been ordering stuff online, and I think everyone's ordering stuff online, I guess. But it's funny because I'll see something, it's definitely not an essential item or whatever, and it'll feel like it's gotten here the next day. But that's only because I'm not keeping track of days. So I'll be like, wow, that's already here. And it's like, oh wait, I ordered that 7 days ago. Like, of course it's already here. But yeah, no, dude, honestly, time has lost all meaning. I'm as much as I don't want to go back to work, so to speak. I'm stoked for it. I'm happy for it. And I'm also just blessed to actually still have a job, because a lot of people don't. So,
yeah.
so I'm okay with it. I'm pushing that lazy Nate to get back to working Nate. So it's gonna happen.
Well, so then the next time we do this, we'll call you Working Hard Nate. Right?
There we go. Next quarantine, you call me
Slaying.
Working Hard Nate.
Yeah. But like it's just interesting. It's such weird times right now. Just the normal things I find, just the normal things of being able to like just go out and like do something, like pick up groceries or get a coffee. Even like you can still obviously go get a coffee. It's nothing, but you just this hyper awareness, which is why it's just such a peculiar time. And I think when we last left the podcast, which was again almost 5 weeks, pandemic was officially announced, and shortly after everywhere was just closing down.
But it was barely in play, right? We were all like, this will be a few weeks. Yeah. You got the orange guy down south going, this is a hoax, this is fake, this is nothing. You still have people saying, but the flu death rates and all this stuff, like, this is legitimate, man. We are locked in our houses just to stay alive. This is real. This is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the reality is the way I look at the whole situation is we're staying in because this is a hyper contagious virus that has different effects on everyone, and it's so unpredictable. Therefore, someone could have, a very bad experience with it and be in respiratory, distress and could inevitably die. Or there's people that just, they have it, but they don't show any symptoms. They don't show. And I think just as scary as how contagious it is, that's also scary. Being able to like that varying degree of how it affects. So that to me is primary reason, because genetically and like scientifically, it doesn't look and act any different from an actual flu. But because of how intensively contagious it is, and the varying degrees of how it affects people, it is integral right now to kind of respect this whole tradition and also be aware that it is going to not just go away. Like someone was recently on the news saying like norm isn't going to happen until there's a vaccine, really. Yeah. Right. So
I mean, like 2 weeks ago, Sarah and I were like, are we going to get to see that Rage Against the Machine concert in July? We might not be able to see Rage Against the Machine in concert next July, the way they're talking about things, So
and you hope though that at the end of the day that it's kind of like more of it's an over promise. Like how do they say it?
No, you gotta get ahead of it. You gotta be over precautious. You gotta do all these things so that less people die. And I mean, let's be honest here. It's been a month. I know people are going crazy. I know they're getting annoyed and lonely and all that stuff. And you got to reach out. You got to talk to people. You got to hang out. You got to do things that make you happy. But this is 1 month of what could be 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And then the second wave's going to come and we're going to have to do this again. Like, this is the only way we can keep hospitals functional is to minimize impact, and it's going to be 18 months before we get a vaccine, before we get any of that stuff, and so it's not awesome, it's not great, but it is the reality. So let's do it, and keep a smile on your face, and do things that make you happy,
Well, that's just it, and that's a perfect segue into Watcha, because there has been a lot of Watcha that's happened over 5 weeks, and I'm almost
Nate has watched everything. Nate was just
all right. So guys, I'm going to take over the podcast
Netflix
now.
deleted themselves from his account.
I'm going to do my Watcha, which is going to be this is part 1 of a 7-hour part series.
Well, and that to avoid this, we are actually going to set a limit here. So let's keep our watches to a max of top 5, because I'd like to hear. I think there's going to be a lot of overlap. We've obviously been engaged in conversation about certain sort of things that we've watched. So I think this is a good forum for us to do that. So you know what? I am going to throw it to you, Mr. Kevin, to start us off with a watcha.
I knew you were going to start with me. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Let's just get this out of the way. Let's just start with this
and
end it quickly. Friggin' Tiger King.
You cool
What a
cats
joke,
and
man.
kittens.
Yes, Tiger King. Man.
Okay, fine. At me. I don't care. That was fake. It was
Really?
fabricated. It was BS. Come on. Watch that last episode, and they're all kind of like winking at the camera when they're doing their segues, man. There's no way this story could exist in real life without the consequences that like real life has to bring. I'm sorry.
Didn't Joe Exotic get those consequences? Like,
Yes, he got arrested for doing illegal things, but like the whole Carol, hashtag Carol, whatever. Like, no, it's
Carol did
fake,
it.
man. It's fake. But that said, we watched it in an 6 hour like boom, back to back to back to
all the way
back to
through.
back to back to back. We didn't stop. It was like I gotta pee, pause it. Like it was. We were in it, man, but it's fake. That's my final verdict on that.
dude, if it's not real, then you're right. Like, it's extremely entertaining. But if it is absolutely real, like every single person in the show is horrible. Like, they're all horrible people, and the fact that people are glorifying some of those people is a little
Joe's
upsetting.
toothless lover is a nice guy. I liked him.
Okay, sure. And now that he's gotten his teeth fixed, he looks even better. But
There we go. He's a handsome
Did
guy.
you watch the last episode? Did you guys watch the additional?
I haven't watched the
episode that
new
Netflix-
additional one.
There's
no, not
new
yet.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there was one additional episode.
Gotta go.
Oh, Kevin's left. Okay, he's left the conversation. He's going to.
That's so funny. Or actually, did he like?
He accidentally hung up on our
Oh, I think-
FaceTime call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's okay. So we'll try this again with him. Let me just ring him. Yeah, so Kevin's back. He actually left the conversation and stopped the recording, so we had to restart this. So,
Dude, Kevin is
as
like
he-
a savant with technology, you know? He just knows this stuff.
No, but I think the point that you were leaving on, or that I was leading with, is that they added an additional episode, in episode 8, and it's with who's the main actor again from Community?
Joel McHale.
Yeah, Joel McHale hosts an interview.
Oh, really?
What's it called? He hosts I guess a Q&A. So it was cool. It was interesting. But
I'm sorry. Where's that available?
it's on Netflix. It's
Nice.
like episode 8. It's episode 8.
Okay,
so-
cool.
And are they all social distancing in it, I've heard? Like, they're all...
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Just as a fan of animals, like, this is a pretty horrific thing to watch. Like, I like animals, but I know some people who are really sensitive to animal abuse and stuff like that. I'm like, there's no way that... How is it this popular and we're watching all these poor tigers? Like, unless, again, Kevin, unless you're right and it's not exactly real and these cats are fine.
No. Those
That part's
horrible
real?
tiger zoos are real, man. That's the worst
Yeah.
part about it.
Well, the right at the beginning, the interesting stat that there was more giant cats in America than there were in other places around the world where they should be,
Right.
was quite astounding.
Yeah, like
So,
in captivity versus in the wild. Yeah.
It's insane.
and Joe Exotic essentially did go to jail while for the plot of killing Carol, but essentially too one part of that whole thing was that he killed those cats, right? Like that was one of the things in
One of the allegations
in how
against him, yeah.
allegations against him that actually got him in jail. He was horrible to those animals. I don't think all those people were horrible to those animals.
I mean, to be fair, he wasn't horrible to them. They just shouldn't be in that kind of captivity in that kind of environment, right? Like, I mean, it opens up this huge plethora of moral, questions regarding animal ownership. As a dog owner, am I preventing my dogs from being wild? Right? Why are my dogs different than tigers? That sort of thing, Those tigers were safe in their cages, were fed daily the way they should be. I mean,
But I think
and
it
again,
comes down...
go.
Sorry, Kevin. I was just going to say, I think it comes down to the mental well-being of these animals. So
Yes.
if you look at a dog, right? Like a dog or a cat, they're perfectly fine because they're being fed and they have enough space in most instances, hopefully, to be a dog or be a cat. A tiger cannot be a tiger in Florida. especially when they had that snow leopard. And I was like, wow, that's not okay. Like, anyways, I don't know. Again, it's like a car accident on the highway. You shouldn't slow down and watch and look at it, but we all do. So, we're all going to be cool cats and kittens and enjoy the show. But
I think whether the show's real or not, whatever you think of it, man, Netflix hit it out of the park with this one, man.
It was a perfect timing.
Huge.
Though.
It was perfect.
Sweet. Kevin, anything else? You got Tiger King out of the way.
Yeah, so Tiger King we can cross off. We've all seen that. What else have you seen, Kev?
Okay, so you did mention Joel McHale. And so it was actually a lot of fun to go back and rewatch Community. Did you guys watch Community at all?
I haven't watched it all like succinctly, but I've watched episodes, yeah.
I haven't watched Community since I was in college, which was a while ago.
Which was like 6 months ago. I know.
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
you pup.
No, but it was long enough that I don't think they had yet done the additional season that they came out with, the season after they were canceled or whatever.
Well, that's
so I hadn't seen any of that.
That was the thing I found interesting, right? Like, so Dan Harmon created and wrote Community. They did 3 seasons. Viewership wasn't great. So they fired Dan Harmon, brought in a new staff. Season 4 was terrible. They brought back Dan Harmon. Season 5 was really, really good. And then at that point, they were on some platforming service. I can't remember. And then they did season 6, not so good. And that one was on another like Hulu, I believe, at that point. And I don't know. The first 3 seasons are just fantastic. Between the paintball episodes, between the chicken finger, Goodfellas sort of homage, there are some really, really great episodes. So we had a lot of fun watching that show. So that was really cool. And I honestly, just anybody listening, if you haven't seen Community, go out and watch the first 3 seasons. They're awesome. We also got into a series called Dark Side of the Ring. It's done by Vice. And yes, I'm a wrestling fan, but Sarah is not. And she is actually more enamored with this series than I am because... So
is it about wrestling?
It's about wrestlers. And it is insane, man. Like, there is no industry in entertainment like wrestling. The performers die and kill themselves more than anywhere else. Like, honestly, when a Hollywood actor dies, it's huge news. When a sports athlete dies, it's huge news.
Yeah.
When a wrestler dies, it kind of gets a little buried. But if you hear these stories, there is, a family of wrestlers. 5 of 6 kids are dead now, man, because they were involved in wrestling. You got the Benoit story. I know everyone knows that one. You've got murder mysteries, like did he kill himself? Did he fake his own death? Everything like that. You've got drug addiction. You've got everything. This show is absolutely mental. And Sarah is like, yes, I'm in. This is so engaging. So again,
do they do a piece about Benoit?
2 episodes. They did 2 episodes for that case. We haven't watched those yet. That's season 2. We just finished season 1. It is, it's crazy, man. You don't have to like wrestling. It is the history of entertainment and sports in a way that you've never seen it. This industry is crazy.
So it'd be interesting to find out too, like for yourself, does this change, you're a huge fan of wrestling, and does it change your perspective about, what mentally goes into this and how it affects them and in any sort of capacity? And then also for Sarah, like you said, she's not into it. So what's her draw into it? Is it because
it's because it's crazy, man. Like, these people are offing themselves. They're killing each other. They're stabbing each other in the showers. The drama that unfolds in this industry is crazy. And again, you don't have to respect, appreciate wrestling at all. It's just a piece of history. This between the 70s and the late 2000s, so many of these performers died different ways, and it's like, what the hell was going on in that industry? You know, why was it so awful? You know, it's really intriguing.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah.
For my final watcha, I just want to give a huge applause to PlayStation.
Woo!
They released the whole Uncharted series for free, man.
Yeah, man.
I have wanted to play that for 15 years. So I'm about 6 chapters deep into the first game, and
Awesome.
I have a whole bunch of issues with the game. I think it's super overrated, but it was free, so I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
you'll enjoy it.
Like, I would
You'll
like to
enjoy
talk to Nate about, like, just, it's overrated, man.
I'll say this: the first game it could use more polish, and you'll notice as you go through each game why it's rated the way it is. I would say the first game, they had to start somewhere, right? So it's going to be the weakest of all of them. Get a little bit further into it, I think you'll find that the storytelling is going to outweigh the sort of clunky pacing of the game, where it's like fight, story, explore,
yeah.
fight, story, explore. So you'll find that pace will kind of pick up a little bit more, and you're going to be so much more invested in the characters. That first one is not the best representation of the series itself.
Yeah. I honestly think that the best is 4.
Yeah.
I had a chance to play a little bit of 3, it feels the same. But 4, I think, has that as you were describing, just a very nice sort of balance. Like, they figured it out as they've gone, how to balance, you know, the action with the exploring, with the, you know, the story elements and all that stuff to kind of give you a much more rounded experience. But yeah, the Uncharted series is awesome. Maybe I can see that you would say it would be overrated, especially if a lot of people have told you gotta play.
I mean, it's kind of like that movie that everybody talks about, right? And then you finally see it and you're like, well,
Parasite.
it was good, but no, I just think there's some clunky things to it that are bothering me playing it. But as a 21st century Indiana Jones game, I'm in. So I will play the whole series, especially because, again, thank you, PlayStation. Free.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, but so that's what I've been up to.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Nate.
Yes.
I know you're itching there.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, let me at him.
You're like, let me. I got a bunch of stuff. He's got his notes ready. I can see his eyes just darting over. Okay, so what you been up to, Nate?
Yeah, well, before I dive into what I've been up to, I just want to quickly mention, Kevin, if you want a relaxing afternoon where you're not going to yell at your TV,
I dare you.
PlayStation also released Journey, which is, honestly, you pop a pair of headphones in and you just get into Journey. It's there for free as well. Dude, I'm telling you, you're going to just have a wonderful evening. Just turn off the lights, headphones, Journey. It's awesome. I don't want to say any more than that. Speaking of relaxing, very relaxing game that I've been playing, Animal Crossing. And I know, like, I'm sure all of you guys have heard, and everyone listening has heard so much about Animal Crossing from everyone. I have friends who don't even play video games at all, who have just, messaged me, hey, dude, just got a Switch for Animal Crossing. I'm trying to get the specific fruit. Do you have it? Things like that. It's such a perfect game to launch when it did. And obviously Nintendo couldn't have anticipated, no one in the world anticipated all of this craziness happening.
Or did they?
Or did they? All right, Conspiracy Kevin coming at you. But no, like, I think, all you do in this game is you thrive on an island getaway, which is something that none of us can do. You can get on a plane and visit your friends and go to their island and hang out. And, I've been to birthday parties. I went to a birthday party in this game, and it was all, because you can decorate the island. So it's all decorated. You can make custom things that go into the game. It's absolutely a joy. So I have not put that down. I think I'm at like 185 hours. So, but between doing all the Animal Crossing stuff, I've also been building a ton of Lego. You guys have seen...
You have a ton of Lego. You have a ton of Lego that has not been built yet.
Right?
So it's like, got the ton.
guys, most people say a ton and they're joking. We've weighed his sets. It literally weighed a ton.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've been building like a bunch of these. I've got like this the speeder. I've got the this set here that I picked up at in Chicago when we went to Star Wars Celebration, and then this one here that I've just gotten started with, which is the Michael Lee Stockwell remastered Slave One, which is really cool with the signature on it and everything, which is awesome, super cool that we were able to pick that up there and interview him. If you haven't checked it out yet, please check out our YouTube channel. You'll see us our interview on Fan Expo. Super cool. So I've been building a ton of Lego. Oh, dude, that was such a fun. I want to talk to that guy again. And then I've also, Justin, I know you've been really getting into this too, along with me. Westworld Season 3. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, it's very fresh. It's very different from the last two seasons. But the cool thing is I find it's slowly starting to show its roots, like bringing back some narratives from previous seasons. No pun intended.
Narratives, I think narratives and also just clarity, right? Because I think the first, like we're on episode 5, and I just think the first 4 episodes were very paced, like just very like it was very like the eggs were there. Yeah, you had to kind of find them and kind of piece it together, and now things are starting to like unravel, and we're starting to see what the story is kind of going to be. Kevin, are you caught up? Have you watched any of the?
I haven't watched season 3, so I only have one question. Obviously, I don't want spoilers. Yeah. Does it feel like this is kind of the culmination? This is the wrap up?
It does like I just
like season 3 is going to be it.
Well, we talked about the trailer, so I think if we go off that as well, and just in conjunction of what I think at least I've seen, it does have this sort of epic nature of Dolores getting what she wants, right, and achieving a goal. And if anything, it's about the last 2 episodes we're watching her as she developed to get to this point of where she's achieving this goal. So it does look like it could be closure. So if that's closure on like specifically her character or on Westworld as a whole, because who knows what's going to happen after, right? I think if anything, this might be closure on her character, and they might find something else to do with Westworld.
I mean, the latest thing I saw was that Game of Thrones was just a simulation in the Westworld sort of environment, right? Like, oh my goodness. Okay, HBO, don't go that deep, please.
We're not gonna say how that was, because I think people might still, if they're listening to the podcast and they haven't experienced that yet, I don't want to spoil that for them. Right. But
wait, so you're telling me there's a chance?
There's something. I'm not going to say what it is, but you gotta watch. You gotta watch this season.
Okay,
it's an Easter egg.
Cool. It's an Easter egg. One of the cool things, though, that I'm really digging with it so far, it's just like the first few episodes feel like such a departure, but with the most recent episodes, and this isn't really spoiling anything, but it starts to feel like Westworld again. It starts to bring those in, and the cool thing is, it doesn't do it by bringing back the exact same situations or narratives. It brings them back. It brings like similar situations back, or it changes, it alters them in such a way that you're like, well, this is really Westworld, but it's different in a small way. So I'm really loving it. I cannot wait. It's keeping me on my feet every single episode. I think there's something that I'm like, oh, I know what's happening, and then I don't, and it's so good.
You got me, man. You got me.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's great.
Yeah. What else? Dude, I got a chance to. A lot of people are doing these watch-alongs now. Have you guys seen any watch-alongs? Like on the internet, people are posting, and then you synchronize and you watch along.
We had planned one, but I'm like, I don't want to sit there and watch a movie while people are talking through it. So yeah, I am not a watch-along kind of guy.
I think for a movie that we've all already seen would be a good idea.
Yes,
because then if we're talking, it doesn't matter as much, right? So speaking of a movie that I've already seen, IGN actually did a Rogue One watch along with Chris Weitz and Gary Whitta, who are the 2 writers for Rogue One, and it was really cool to kind of rewatch that movie. I do think actually rewatching that movie, out of the new movies, that Rogue One actually has the best soundtrack out of all of the new movies, even more than I really do. It's actually really good. But there were 2 really cool things that I just wanted to point out. So Chris Weitz, he was talking about Borgullet, and everyone hates Borgullet. But the first version of Borgullet that was cut was actually, he was a memory trader. And so apparently he delights in traumatic memories. Like he feeds off of them. And so they're like really delicious. And so one of the quotes that he said was like, there was at one point a space Hannibal Lecter scene where Bor Gullet made Jin trade her traumatic memories for information that she wanted, which I think would have been way better than frickin' what we got with Bor Gullet. I think that's such a cool idea.
Bor Gullet was that thing that comes out and it attaches its mind so that it or its tentacles to the mind so that it can reveal the truth, right?
Exactly. But originally
that was honestly the worst part of that movie.
Oh, 100%. We could do without that part, but the original cut for that character was much darker, and I think would have been so much cooler if they had stuck with it. And then really quickly, I don't know if you guys already know this one. So Gareth Edwards was allowed to only name one planet in his movie, his own movie, but whatever. And so he named Scarif. And so it all came about when he ordered a drink at Starbucks. And the barista said, okay, what's the name? Can I get the name? And he goes, it's Gareth. And he said, it's Gareth. But he said it so quickly that when he got his cup said Scarif.
Oh, awesome. That's so funny.
So literally, he looked at the cup and he was like, okay, that's the name of the planet Scarif then.
That's
which I
hilarious.
just thought those were cool, really cool tidbits that's something that you wouldn't get unless you were there for that watch along, or unless, I think they've got it archived. But
No, that's awesome.
No, for
That's
sure.
awesome. I'm tired of the baristas spelling my name with a C. Bunch of idiots.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've got a few more, but I feel like we've been going pretty long with this, so I'll leave it up to Justin. Maybe he might have some overlap for some stuff. So,
well, yeah, no, I think the one thing I know that Nate and I kind of mentioned that I was able to capture or watch was Onward. So yeah, I watched Onward on Disney Plus.
How was it?
It was actually really good.
Really good.
It was.
I hear
really
the
good. I
ending
actually
is
really
just
enjoyed it.
tearjerker.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty emotional.
I cried my
but,
face off, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, no, but you don't count, man. You cry to everything.
I definitely teared.
Nice.
And
Really?
It was, yeah.
It's that good, eh?
It definitely. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was actually very surprised. I think we talked about this in another episode where we reviewed the trailer, or we did it for trailer time.
We were not hot on it.
No, we were not, because we thought it felt very just
DreamWorksy.
Yeah, DreamWorks, like Sony, like just another thing. But you know what? They landed it with the heart and the heart of the story. And I honestly think there's actually another thing you guys should check out on Disney Plus called Insider, I think it's called. They're like short 15-minute behind the scenes.
Oh, cool.
Like sort of different parts of Disney. So they do movies, they do parks, they do all sorts of stuff. There's only 3 episodes. It's fairly new. But they did one with Onward. Where they went behind the scenes and they talked with like the director and the producer, and they both talked about how they had a very personal connection to the story and how they both experienced the same sort of things that these characters have, and the want and yearning to have like one more day and stuff like that. So I love that kind of drew from a personal story that they were able to really translate well, and really just kind of hit home the sentiment that if we could have one more day with someone that is no longer here, what would that look like, and what does that experience look like? So I thought that was I was actually very surprised. I enjoyed that, but I've been really into animation, like animated movies. I watched Kubo and the Two Strings. I watched Missing Link. Both I always say this wrong. It's Laika.
Laika. You had a Laika-thon.
Yeah, I had a Like-a-thon. I watched Coraline. I watched Coraline as well.
All the greats.
One of the great horror movies of all time.
Yeah, Paranorman. I don't know if that's actually Laika.
Yeah.
I don't think I've.
Yeah, no, it's Laika.
So
I really
I
liked
think that was the first
Paranorman.
one that
I really liked that one. Yeah.
I had seen that almost like probably just I think the week of the quarantine. It was on, and I watched it. And I just was like, man, I love the stop motion. I love the animation and stuff like that. And so I kind of went through all of that.
It's fun to watch people do it well, eh?
Oh, well, it was also like great revelation to like actually wanting to maybe try to, obviously not do something on the scale of that, but like just do a story or some sort of movie with animation in some kind of capacity. But we do some
kind of already
stuff
done
like
that.
Yeah, we tend to, but I mean like an actual like maybe like a story with like characters that we've created or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
don't know.
you briefly mentioned animation there. You should see Justin draw, guys. You should see J-Law's drawings. Since I was 12 years old, man, this guy has blown me away with his animations.
Yeah,
man. I was just like, dude, you can draw. It's sick.
Yeah.
He did my
passion.
Student council presidential nomination posters when we were like 13. That's how we kind of became friends. So
that's exactly how we became friends.
Yeah.
You were like, hey man, do you want to draw all my posters? I was like, sure, I'll draw all your posters. I did all these like quick sketch kind of drawings, and that's the thing.
And he made me look good. That's hard to do.
Speaking of drawing, I got an iPad Pro, which I reinvigorated my love for just drawing. I've been sketching a lot and just kind of playing around with like brushes and stuff like that. So yeah, drawing. Like honestly, I've just been the one thing other than just kind of assuming like consuming content. I've been trying to think like, I know we've all been talking about making content because this whole sort of situation has thrown our creative jive in a bit of a loop, because the type of videos that we do are so collaborative, right? From actual animation to like the post-production and the voices and the writing and everything. So now it's kind of figuring out how do we take this situation and just kind of change our course of direction in terms of content, because I think fun boxings are something that we're obviously going to still do, but I'm excited for some of the stuff that we've conversed about for the YouTube channel that's very different from
I mean, even outside of the YouTube channel, I mean, like maybe this sounds like a perfect segue to start plugging some things that we're doing during the quarantine. So I think Nate should sort of give himself a little pat on the back here. He started a little something.
Up the Twitch,
yeah, man. Well, I've been, I mentioned ordering, so I've just been ordering stuff on Amazon to kind of get this started and get this going, and I've been streaming. I've been using twitch.tv/Nate Plays Games, presented by Geekcentric. Is if you want to check me out on Twitch. I'm also I've got a Facebook page as well, and I've just figured out last night how to stream to that as well, which is really cool. So I can do a multi-stream, and awesome. Yeah, man, I've been streaming Animal Crossing. I've also been streaming Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So if you want to see me fail amazingly and spectacularly over and over and over again, you can watch that.
What I love about the Twitch platform too, and I've come to kind of appreciate, is just like you can tune in, watch a bit of a game. If you want, you obviously stay for the whole stream. That's great, but like you can jump in and it, Nate, with his personality of how he likes to engage conversation, he really chats up people in the group, and he might have like 5 viewers or he might have 20. It just it can scale up. So it's a new platform, and I'm excited to see what you do with it, man. I'm excited to see how you take it in your own unique, fresh perspective of you, because you're the gaming guy in our group. You're the gaming guy, and you're the Lego guy. So it's good to see that you're taking on that as a new avenue of just making content. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because Twitch was one of those things where I just didn't understand it. I'm thinking like, why would anyone want to watch someone play a video game? Why wouldn't you just play the video game?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Honestly, the biggest thing for me was because I've been following a lot of different people, Andy Cortez, Anthony Carboni, different people that are in my ears and on podcasts and things like that, and they're doing these Twitch streams. And so I think the moment that it changed for me, where I realized this is something I really think I could get into, was the engagement moment of commenting or messaging something in their chat and having them go,
yes.
Oh, hey Nate, yeah, absolutely, nice to see you again or hear from you again. Like to be able to hear a voice say my name when I've literally been listening to pretty much every day that they've been doing podcasts, because some of them do daily podcasts, and so hearing them engage with me back, that was the part where I was like, that's
instant.
That click,
it's instant,
right?
Yes,
it was
right,
that
exactly.
moment that I'm like, I want that. And so for, because we've been talking about on the YouTube channel, how do we engage our audience more? This is a way to do it right in it and really talk to people. And I'm hoping that I get more people other than people I know and my mom and dad were watching at one point.
But like the thing is though, again, I stress this, like our YouTube channel, our podcasts, everything, it all starts somewhere, right?
Yeah.
YouTube was where we first started. Podcast was second. Twitch is now the third thing, right? And it's going to be one of those things that over time it'll grow. It's just about staying committed and seeing it through from start to finish.
And I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way to get you guys on somehow. We're going to find a way to do a multicam thing. We've got a lot of time to figure this stuff out.
I would love it if we did like something where it was like where Kevin and I are obviously not like we game, but we're not like a gamer like you, but it's like you trying to teach us how to game.
That would be
on,
great.
Like, his platform.
Or just me watching Nate play and like, no, you idiot. No, you're doing it wrong.
That would be great.
Go over there.
That's funny.
So when are you planning your next live stream?
Well, so this is the tricky thing, because I'm going to be getting back into an actual schedule for working from home,
which is great.
Yeah. It leaves up in the air. I don't know when my days off or anything are just yet. So as soon as I know that, I will have an actual schedule. Cool. But if you follow me on Twitch, if you actually go in and actually make an account and follow, or on Facebook or on Instagram,
if you friend Nate on Facebook, you'll know when the next one is going.
Yeah, exactly. And also, on the Geekcentric, we're pushing when you go live as well.
Nice.
Just so that we can draw our Instagram community to that platform as
but
well.
For the most part, it's been like 7:30s at night, usually on different days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a reasonable time for everyone. So that's good, man. I'm glad that you're doing it. Kev, do you want to share what you've been working on, or you wanna wait till it drops on the channel?
Ooh.
Oh, Kev at home. Kev at home.
New series.
Going a bit crazy. Can't do the fun boxings, obviously. So Sarah and I have been working on a few things. I hope they're funny and fun. I don't know how it's going to go.
We've been talking about it, but I think what I love is that it's going to be something that it'll be definitely collaborative from a distance.
And you know what? Whether it works or doesn't, working on something with Sarah. I mean, guys, she does a lot of the voices on our YouTube. She helps me write a lot of like the songs and stuff.
She's more talented than you.
She is definitely more talented. She wrote a lot of that Rick and Morty, which in my opinion is probably the best thing Geekcentric's ever done. Just putting it out there. In terms of writing. So she's definitely my writing partner, and so we've had some fun. Again, there's only so much you can do with an iPhone and but anyways, Kev at Home debuts this week. And it'll be weekly quarantine episodes, so tune in, give it a look. It's definitely different than fun boxings or anything like that. But
and where is this dropping, Kevin?
Right on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's going to be posted on our YouTube channel. Yeah. I'm also just going to be kind of doing some. The way I look at it is I want to showcase some other pieces in the collection that are non-Funko. And I feel like I figured out a routine where I might be able to do that independently, which requires obviously no stop motion and no animation and very easy post work. It's just getting all the material shot. So it's something I can independently do, which is good. So I can at least create some content, because I think that's it. Like part of the reason why we really did start the channel and we were doing is just to do stuff together, right? Like to work on stuff together. So with the plans that we had for what would have been spring 2020 have obviously changed based on what's happened here. But you know what? Like it took some time, but I'm glad that we've just all talked about what we want to do, and it's just like, boom, let's activate. So content is coming to the channel, which I'm super excited for. And
that's really good news.
Yeah,
really good news.
Yeah, so not letting it, because I guess we should celebrate this as well, because we haven't, but we hit 25K, right? We hit 25,000 subscribers, and that's a huge milestone for us.
That was awesome, man.
Books. another one in the books for us, and that just want to keep the momentum going. We know our fans love our Funkos and our Disney stuff. Let's show them something a little bit different. Let's show them a little bit more of us so that they can know who we are, and all that stuff will still be on the channel. We're still going to be making that stuff.
I think the idea is kind of get to know us a bit more, right?
Yeah. Guys, that is whatcha. I think this is the perfect time to move into the news.
It's all about the details.
There's not much news going on right now that is entertainment related, but there are some things that have happened over the 5 weeks that I thought I would kind of bring up. The Mandalorian Season 2 cast Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. Slash Film broke the news actually on March 20th about Rosario Dawson being casted as Ahsoka Tano in the upcoming Season 2. This comes as a surprise for two reasons. First being that no one anticipated this character making an appearance in The Mandalorian, maybe just not this early. But this is also a fan casting dream come true. Peter from Slash Film mentioned in his article that in 2017, a fan tweeted Rosario Dawson asking her to appear in a Star Wars movie as Ahsoka, and the actress responded, yes, please. #Ahsoka lives. This tweet created groups of fans campaigning for her to play the role. But, of course, as we know with Star Wars fans, guys, everyone has an opinion. Some fans were very upset that Ashley Eckstein was not casted as the iconic character in the live-action form, as she has been the voice of Ahsoka since the very beginning. But what's really interesting about all of this, though, is that we haven't actually gotten an official confirmation from Disney, from Jon Favreau, or even Dave Filoni. Dawson, though, was recently interviewed by Variety about the casting news, and she said that has not been confirmed, but when it happens, I will be very happy. So, guys, how do we feel about this iconic character from the Star Wars animated world finding her way into live-action world?
I've wanted all of this since you guys were laughing at me talking about it going into our speculation for Rise of Skywalker. Like, I've wanted this since episode 9. And so to hear that we're going to be getting this melding of these universes, it makes so much sense, especially coming from Dave Filoni. And it just works so well. And to see her, absolutely, that's a fan casting come true. The whole Ashley Eckstein thing, I mean, I did see an Instagram live interview, or I guess it wasn't an interview, just Instagram live that she put out where she just was saying, you know what, like, thank everyone so much for their concern or for bringing this to my attention or for being upset. But realistically, Ahsoka is a group of people. It's not just Ashley Eckstein. It's a group of people. It's writers. It's Dave Filoni. It's so many different people.
Right.
And so the voice is a huge part of that. But realistically, it doesn't make any sense to just say, well, she did the voice, so she has to be that character, especially considering the fact that I don't think she would fit the look of that character. And I do think Rosario Dawson would be phenomenal in that makeup.
Well, I again, not somebody that has watched the series as much, between Rebels and Clone Wars, etc. I'm not that familiar with Ahsoka. Where I am in Rebels, she's just kind of introducing herself. So again, she's not this like really integral character in my Star Wars universe, if you will. But she's an orange alien with head tendrils. Couldn't anybody play that? And so why not have the voice of the character be that character? You said she doesn't look the part. What is she? Too short? Too fat? Too whatever?
Short. She is short. She's very short. She's a very short person.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Hagrid also wasn't 8 feet tall. Ian McKellen wasn't 3 feet taller than the Hobbits. Yeah. There's filming tricks to get around that. So I understand people going, well, this is the voice, this is my Ahsoka, this is what I grew up with, essentially. We're almost getting to that point, right? That said, what a grab if Rosario does do it. Like, she's awesome. She's really likable and fun, so I mean, it's exciting to have a big name join the series alongside my boy Oberyn Martell. Like I'm down, man. I'm down. I think she's great.
No, I know.
So like
Well,
again, because I have no affiliation, I'm really not upset about it. I think it's great news, but I understand where fans are coming from with their resentment or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think the one thing that stands out at you, as you were saying, is like Rosario Dawson is star power, and a character like Ahsoka, it's great to have star power behind that's going to really help push that character. And I think the Ahsoka that we're going to see is going to be much older. It's going to be a different Ahsoka, taking into consideration all of the things that have happened.
That's a great point. How much older?
Well, so at the end of Rebels, when that ends...
No spoilers, please.
That's the last time. Yeah, that's fine. But that's the last time we see her, and it's at the end of the Empire, at the end of Return of the Jedi. That's when they go.
So she's like at least 40 years older then. 30, 40 years older.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So, and we get introduced to her, obviously, in
Wow.
Clone Wars as Anakin's Padawan. So
what is the race that she like the alien species that she is with the tendrils there?
Oh, now you're testing me.
Twi'leks?
No, she's not a Twi'lek.
No,
Hang on.
she looks like a Twi'lek, but she's not.
I'll get
no,
that. You
but
guys keep going.
Yeah. So the other.
So
thing
I'm
I was
just
gonna say,
wondering
too-
what her lifespan is. Like,
Right.
Humans are, up to 100. Yoda's whatever
She's 100,
are
yeah.
up to 800.
Yeah.
What?
Kevin,
Where is
she's a-
she? Right?
She's called a Togruta,
Yep.
and Togruta. I'm just trying to see here. Yeah, I don't have anything on average lifespan, but she's a Togruta.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe she's a spry 30-year-old. Even though she might be in the universe for 60 years, she's barely starting. Who knows?
Right, but so the other thing too is that the Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and obviously we've seen her in Rebels, which was at the end of Return of the Jedi. Roughly, the Empire had fallen in Rebels, so there's probably going to just be, like you said, 40, 45 maybe is her age. She's going to be wise. I also like to think that what other characters are going to come with her, because when we saw her, she was with another character from Rebels. So will that character also be with her? And she was a Mandalore.
Well,
right?
I know your question is, do you want to see more? Man, now that I've done the ride and seen the episode with him on Rebels, I wonder if he appears more. But let's go live action Hondo, man. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
dope.
that'd be great. Yeah,
I mean, we
yeah.
already know it works because we've literally seen him in real life.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they could totally do that because we saw the live action. Technically, there is a live action version of him on the Millennium Falcon on Smuggler's Run. When you're just about to enter into the cockpit, you see a video version of him, and that's definitely an actor, right? So they could totally bring that in. I think that would be phenomenal.
That's
but again,
so easy.
as much as I would want Jim Cummings to do the voice, he doesn't fit that part. You know what I mean? I guess it's a bit different there, but
what if they recorded his voice and then just layered it in? Right?
Like they do with a lot of characters. Come on,
Characters, right.
that's a good point. But that's I get you. That's a good point.
Yeah.
cool.
The only other thing I was going to say about it is that having now experienced both Rebels and Clone Wars, getting a little bit more insight into the Filoni universe of Star Wars, it's nice to see him showing up, like these characters showing up in The Mandalorian, and not in the Skywalker saga, where as Nate was pointing out, you were for Rise of Skywalker, you were hoping to see some of these characters show up, and I personally just didn't think that it was a necessity. Whereas I think in The Mandalore, there's Mandalorian story, we have this already pre-existing Filoni world that he's kind of created, and he's able to kind of pull in some of these characters and transition them into live action. So it is exciting to see. I'd like to see some of the other characters show up, and I won't list some names, but I would love to see some. But I think it's gonna be interesting. Let's see if Disney actually confirms this. So unless we wait until October 2020 when the show drops and we find out. So
I don't think it's gonna. I don't know if it's actually gonna. I think it's gonna get pushed.
Why?
Because
I
everything's
they
getting
finished-
pushed.
Because
Yeah,
if
but
this
they've been-
if this is barely
Well,
even
scheduling
confirmed,
wise, maybe.
they haven't
Yeah.
shot this yet.
Yeah, they have.
They haven't They haven't shot Rosario Dawson. If this isn't
no,
confirmed,
No, this hasn't been confirmed by anyone, which makes me also believe, as a side note, if it should have even been announced in the first place, if it was supposed to be like a something that was revealed in the show, very much like a Baby Yoda, but it just kind of came out and no one has really addressed it.
I'll definitely agree with that, but like, look at what Disney's done, right? Before we even knew this was going to be a big deal, they delayed Mulan. You know, and then a couple weeks, maybe a week into this being a big deal, they're like, hey, here's some good news, you know? Like they're kind of trying their best to spread out news and that sort of thing. And so I think rather than just being non-existent and just being like, watch some old movies on Disney Plus, they tried to give out some, you know, exciting news, maybe thinking they could start filming sooner than is possible, you know?
But they've already wrapped production. Production on The Mandalorian Season 2 has wrapped, and it wrapped well before anything had happened.
Interesting.
So it's done. It's done. So they're all in post-production work now, right? Because they were shooting while the show was airing.
In that case, I really do agree with you that Ahsoka would have been just a fanboy wet dream, you know,
right?
to see just
I would have
for
rather
her to
seen
just
it there.
appear.
Yeah.
Like Nate, I would literally get an Uber to your house to check on you if I was watching that episode and that happened without an announcement.
We didn't know ahead of time. Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, I hope he's okay.
But, you know, like the other thing too, you know, being that she's a Jedi, she's obviously has interactions with Yoda through Clone Wars. You know, is she going to be one of the characters that kind of enlightens the Mandalorian about, you know, not what the species is, but what the power is behind the species? And because like the whole time, like no one ever actually says anything in The Mandalorian about this creature having, you know, force sensitive abilities. There's hints at it,
right?
But no one says it. No one says it at all. But we, as the audience, we've obviously seen these powers before, being that we've experienced Star Wars, so we know as the audience that this thing is force sensitive.
Nick Nolte never mentioned the Force, eh?
He said he has seen powers like this before.
Okay.
When she, I think the child tries to strangle Carden.
Right.
So what you're saying is they realized that Baby Yoda is never going to be able to talk and communicate about the Force, so that's where they're inserting Ahsoka to be that voice for Baby Yoda, essentially.
Right.
Is that the worst idea you've ever heard?
No,
Nope.
it's not. I just think it is interesting for a show that prides itself originally on being a no Jedi show and exploring other parts of the canon.
And now here comes the biggest non-Skywalker saga Jedi ever, essentially, right?
She kind of is, though, because
that's a good point there, Nate.
She was Anakin's Padawan, so she kind of is a part of the Skywalker saga.
Oh Jesus, you just can't escape the Skywalkers, eh?
But that again, not to get too side thing, but I feel like that's what, you know, everyone wants everyone to kind of move towards exploring other realms of the Star Wars universe. But to Kevin's point, can you ever really escape the Skywalker saga when, you know, there's all of these elements, right? Because, like, you know, we were talking, I believe, about what was that, the High Republic, that show, that new content,
the new
and we were mentioning
book series.
So Darth Plagueis, what if he's in it, or if they hint at him, or if this thing, is that still associated with the Skywalker saga? Kevin says yes. I would say yes, it is as well, but it's like very distantly removed from it. But like, again, like how can we have Star Wars but not have at least some sort of thread of Skywalker? Because even though
Rogue One,
this character's called the
Rogue
Child,
One.
Why? How so?
Because other than the plans being delivered and starting episode 4, that movie has 0 characters essentially that are in the Skywalker saga. And you can't talk about the guys from the bar. Oh, I don't like you. He doesn't like you.
Or R2 and C-3PO? Or R2 and C-3PO?
Oh my God, they're in the hangar bay. Get over it. That's an Easter egg. They're not in the movie. They don't do anything.
But they still shows that they're part of the Skywalker universe.
Yes, but that movie was a whole movie about characters that had nothing to do with the Force other than the guy pretending to have it.
Darth Vader's in it.
Oh my God. Okay, let's end this right now before it gets, because it's impossible. You're right. It's impossible. There hasn't been a movie made that isn't connected, and there should be. So, anyways, I'm just going to stop trying.
No, that's fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is Kevin's obviously riled up. I think this is the perfect time to move into our topic of the show because we do not have any trailers for trailer time because there's just hasn't been much. But anyways, I think it's time that we get into movie combat.
Two movies enter. One movie leaves. This is Movie Kombat.
All right, guys. So for today's movie combat, we are putting Toy Story against Toy Story 2 to see which of these movies will reign supreme. Representing Toy Story, released in 1995, the original big kid, Nate Shelton.
Buzz, Lightyear to the rescue. How's it going? You're going down, Kevin.
And representing Toy Story 2, released in 1999, we have the king of collectors, Kevin Hudson. Okay, this is a clean round, which means you cannot interrupt the other person while they are doing their opening statement. Cool? All right, so we're all good with that. You have to do everything you can to make your movie sound the most appealing. All right, you guys are each going to get 2 minutes on the clock. Okay? Who wants to go first?
Obviously, I should, because I've got the better film, and it was the first one released, so I think that makes sense.
Sure.
No, hold on. Nate should definitely go first because his movie came out first. Let's go.
Okay. All right,
Let's
guys.
go.
Come on now. Okay, here we go. And the timer starts now.
Toy Story, released in 1995, directed by John Lasseter. This movie is a story of both acceptance and friendship, and it ushered film animation into the era it still exists today. It was a revolution in animation and filmmaking and storytelling, and it redefined what an animated feature film could be, and that cannot be overlooked. The film made $373 million worldwide on a budget of only $30 million. Its story is extremely balanced, allowing not only the extremely charming world of Toy Story to be introduced to audiences, but also allowing its two main characters to share screen time equally and grow as characters all within 80 minutes. With visuals that still hold up today, this movie is timeless. Unlike its sequel, it doesn't rely on large-scale locations or events, just a simple story taking place one house away from where we started. I would go through the entire plot, but I don't need to because you probably remember every single moment. That's the beauty of this film, because just like the lessons learned by Woody and Buzz, it sticks with you forever.
Ooh. Okay.
Am I good for time?
You're great for time. You had 47 seconds to spare.
Okay, I'll give you just a couple of highlights. Highlight number 1, you are a toy. And, excuse me, I think the word you are searching for is Space Ranger. The word I'm searching for, I can't say because there's preschool toys present. And lastly, who's got my hat? Shark pops up. Look, I'm Sheriff Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Those are the highlights. I've got a little bit more, but I'm going to save it for my roundup.
Time.
All right,
Okay.
let's hear it, Kevin.
Okay, Kevin, hold on.
Bring
All right,
it.
it's resetting timer. Kevin, sell it.
Toy Story is one of the most phenomenal movies ever made. It redefined animation, as Nate said. It ushered in a new era for not just animation, but for Disney cartoon classics. It is timeless. It is amazing. But Toy Story 2, like very few movies have ever done before, Toy Story 2 improved upon the original basis. Empire Strikes Back is better than A New Hope. Godfather 2 is better than Godfather. Toy Story 2 is better than Toy Story, and it's because it takes the original premise and lets it breathe, lets it develop, lets it grow. It takes a beautiful story about toys coming to life and really shows them being alive instead of being stuck in Andy's bedroom and Sid the Psycho's backyard, we see these toys cross streets under pylons. What a scene. We see them in the arcade. We see like the scene where the restoration guy fixes Woody. It's timeless. It's one of the most amazing animated scenes of all time. Jesse's origin story is absolutely heartbreaking. It really makes you feel for this toy. And because I'm running out of time here, finally we get to see Woody as a cowboy, because that airport scene is like a real life Western in an airport, CGI'd. It's amazing. I'll leave it at that.
Time, bro. Time.
Ran out of time.
Ding, ding.
No, you got it. You got it all. You got it all there. That was good. That was a good, clean first round, boys. Not too much damage done. Some great points. All right, guys, this is round 2. This is the trash it round, okay? Gloves come off. You guys can debate it out. This will be a shared time slot of 6 minutes. You guys will have the opportunity within that 6 minutes to trash each other's movies. Please be respectful. Don't hurt anyone too badly. Okay? I don't want to have to clean up some blood or anything like that. 6 minutes on the clock. Trash it. Starting now.
You would think 4 years would be long enough to come up with a more believable, less rushed, and original plot, but not in the case of Toy Story 2. Because when you rewrite an entire film over a weekend and remake a movie in 9 months because you've got all this pressure from Disney, you can really start to see the cracks in the seams, or should I say, the rips in the fabric.
Excellent point here. It's interesting. Last time I did Movie Kombat, I had to argue one crappy movie against another crappy movie. And this time I'm arguing a great movie against another great movie. Yeah. So I'm not about to sit here and try and tear down Toy Story. It's an amazing movie. But I'm also not about to sit here. So they made Toy Story 2 in 9 months? That's a cinematic miracle, man. What they did in that movie is incredible. It's incredible. the Buzz Lightyear Zurg moment. The whole elevator scene leading to I Am Your Father, and they start catching balls with each other. The humor just expands. Every little part of the characters and their interactions builds off the first one and gets better. All the characters grow a bit more. We learn a bit more, and it's that much more fulfilling of a cinematic experience because of it.
But what I mean by rips in the fabric, and I'm not just simply talking about the rip in freaking Woody's arm. Like, you're gonna tell me,
which gets fixed in one of the best scenes in movie history, man.
Great, but you're gonna tell me that Andy, who loves Woody, left Woody at home, keeping him from going to cowboy camp, which he takes with him every single year because of a little rip. He's been taking his Woody doll to cowboy camp, and he just all of a sudden doesn't want to do it.
Are we now picking plot holes?
I'm telling you,
Why did
kids
Buzz
do
Lightyear
weird things.
Pretend to be a toy when he didn't know he was a toy, man. We're not about to pick potholes out here, are we?
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you that a film.
That's not what this conversation is about, brother.
The film could have been better because the fact is, number one, Pixar is absolutely great at little details. We can all agree with that. Absolutely, they're phenomenal at little details.
The animation, even in the first one, the sheen on Buzz's helmet, the shadows. It's incredible that they did that all the way back in 95, 96, you said? Unbelievable. Yeah. So yeah,
but
their
the
attention to detail has been there the whole time.
Absolutely. But the problem is when you're making the first movie and you've got Toy Story 1 and Disney does not have its foot on you yet, you can push and push and push to say, I want to make the movie we want to make the movie we want to make. When you are remaking a movie in only 9 months, that's where the seams start to show. And just a few things that Pixar probably would have paid attention to. Number one, the fact that Andy just gives up and just says, no, I'm not going to take Woody to cowboy camp. Number two, the fact that Buzz is all of a sudden not his main obsession when that was the end of the first movie. He should be going to space camp. Number 3, an incredibly well-trained dog doesn't realize that Woody has fallen off of his back. And number 4, his mom, Andy's mom, locks Woody into that case and doesn't realize later that her son's favorite toy is missing all of a sudden after having an argument with a rabid collector. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you right now that these small details Pixar would have taken care of had they not been pressured for time. Just saying. And that makes it a weaker movie.
I watched both of those movies back recently and didn't notice half of those details. So your small details are unimportant details. The dogs you mentioned, all I could see was brilliant animation. They're some of the most beautifully animated dogs I've ever seen in a CGI movie. I had that on my notes and can't believe I got to bring that up. So thank you for helping me there. Listen, CGI was a novel new concept when Toy Story came out. Toy Story redefined the genre of animation for better or worse in a lot of cases. All Toy Story did, it didn't change anything. It didn't grow on anything. All it did was take the amazing concept of Toy Story and improve it ever so slightly. The jokes are better. The characters are more developed. We get new characters. We get better characters. It's just a better movie because it learned its lesson from Toy Story, which is an
and then
archaic,
recycled
boring
a lot
movie.
of the jokes.
Recycled.
Yeah.
Every freaking sequel recycles, but that doesn't mean that sequels can't be better. I'm going to give you the last 40 seconds.
I'm just saying, Slinky Dog, a beloved character and Woody's best friend, seemingly replaced by Bullseye, a character that, let
Jim
me remind
Varney
you,
died, man.
had no memory of Woody had no memory of Bullseye ever existing previous to this movie, and you know
because it's not the same Woody. It's not the same Woody. He's not the Woody.
Then Buzz is not the Buzz? Buzz absolutely was a space ranger previous to being in Andy's room. Woody should have been.
Why are we talking
a roundup
about
gang.
the subtext like this?
Because
come
these
on,
are
man.
small-
Of course, things don't make sense.
Because these are the small details that they weren't able to take
These are
care
the
of
small
because of the
details
amount
you're
of time.
wasting your time worrying about while
time,
watching a
time.
good movie, man.
Time. Okay, break it up, boys. Break it up. Back to the corners. All right. Okay. That was good. Yeah. Okay, nurse your injuries. We're about to get into round 3. Finish it. Okay, you've sold your movies. You've trashed your opponent's movies. Now it's time to bring it home. Each of you will be given another 2 minutes for your final statements. No interruptions. A final 2 minutes. I will start with Nate setting timer and 2 minutes starting now.
All right. In conclusion, as a filmmaker and animator yourself, Justin, I know you must appreciate the film that changed animated film forever and expanded animated feature films to older audiences and younger audiences alike. The best Toy Story film ever made. The movie that made Pixar, and a movie that they were able to get so right simply just because they had time. I love how by the end of the film they were able to go from being afraid of being replaced during the birthday party to hoping for new friends for Christmas because of the lessons they learned from accepting Buzz into their lives. It's such a wonderful, amazing moral story. You tell me what really came from Toy Story 2. Maybe Kevin will argue that in his finishing statement. But listen, Toy Story 1, it's the original. It's undeniably the best Toy Story movie released to date. And it will live on in our hearts and our minds to infinity and beyond.
Oh.
And that's it.
All right. Yeah, well, you have time left, so...
Nope, I don't need it.
Okay, mic
Let's
drop.
hear it,
You're
Kevin.
done?
He
You're
needs
done?
it.
Okay, resetting time. Kevin, are you good?
Give me 1 sec. Okay.
All right.
Whenever.
2 minutes on the clock, starting now.
I kind of look at Toy Story 2 like I look at Empire Strikes Back. Yes, you can lay all the... and I know you won't bring up Star Wars, even though you probably should, because Star Wars redefined a genre. It reinvented the blockbuster. It changed how movies were not only made, but released and experienced. It was a groundbreaking movie, just like Toy Story. Again, I know I've already said, I cannot poop on Toy Story because it's a fantastic movie. But Toy Story 2 took every little detail that worked in Toy Story. Toy Story 2 just made it better, just like The Empire Strikes Back. Every single moment in Toy Story 2 is a how can we do it better moment. The pylon scene, Buzz with his dad catching balls, the elevator scene, the scene in the toy store, the scene in the refurbisher's apartment. Every scene is beautiful, amazing. The animation's better, the jokes are better, the dialogue is better, the characters are better. It literally just took everything that worked in Toy Story and made it a bit better. Because, yes, this is the movie that started Pixar. But are we really going to hold Pixar to their first movie? No! They only got better over time. And Toy Story 2 is basically the perfect example of how they got better over time. Just making a formula work better.
Okay. And 3 seconds left on the clock. Going to timer. Okay, so, you guys both make really incredible points on both sides. I don't envy you guys for having to defend either one of these movies because of the fact that you're both right. They're great films on their own right. I think the deciding factor for me when you guys were talking about a lot of this stuff, Nate, you're absolutely right. The nostalgic piece, it being, significant to animation filmmaking, something I really appreciate about the movie, is what it has done for animated films now. That's a huge part of that. On the other side, though, aesthetically, I found Toy Story 2 to be a lot cleaner, a lot more vibrant, whereas I feel like Toy Story 1 felt more of like an experiment that worked really, really, really well, and it did well, and it captured everyone. You were calling out as well, Nate, the short amount of time that they had with getting the movie done. I actually think that's incredible, just because of the fact Disney wanted to rush that movie because of commercial reasons, and they were like, no. We got to do this movie the right way, so they stepped in and did it. And sure, there's narrative choices in number 2 that probably aren't the best, but I think the real thing from what you guys were talking about was the humor. I laughed out loud way more in Toy Story 2 than I did in Toy Story 1, and that's like upon rewatching them even. I think that to me was a huge part of why. Kevin, you take it. You were right. It takes the world of what Toy Story did so well, as you've outlined, Nate, and expanded it so that that simple story, they're now entering a larger world, and some of the elements, you could say they were attributed to how rushed it was, but I think the humor is what stood out to me. Way to go, Kev! Congratulations, you win this one. Take it home, champion.
Congratulations, dude.
I don't even feel like I won anything here because I literally had to beat an incredible movie. And that was the toughest part about this movie combat, was that it was 2 incredible movies fighting against each other. One redefined a genre. The other just simply took that formula and made it better. And so, honestly, Toy Story is amazing. Toy Story 2 is fantastic. If I were to recommend an animated movie to somebody, it would probably be Toy Story, if they'd never seen an animated movie before. But the only reason is because you have to watch Toy Story before you watch Toy Story 2. And so I would probably preface it with, it's only going to get better from here.
Right.
But anyways, Nate, you did a fantastic job.
Yeah, bravo, man.
You were really, really, really,
you came prepared with good notes
I watched
ready.
Toy Story 2 days ago, and now I want to go watch it again.
Yeah, exactly.
So you did a really great job, and I don't think either of us are losers in the sense that we both just got to watch Toy Story 1 and 2 again. So, again, let's go back to crappy movies and which one is better, because it's a lot more fun to give crap to a movie that sucks than it is to try and beat down a really, really excellent, almost perfect movie. So, anyways,
Yes, well
that was
said.
a fun battle. Nate, you killed it.
Awesome. Yes, I agree. Well, that is it for us. We hope you enjoyed this Movie Kombat episode. If you did, please give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars is the minimum you can give. So please rate us. Let us know what you think in the comment section as well. But as always, we are Geekcentric, and you can be too, which means you can also check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Geekcentric. Follow us on Twitter at GeekcentricYT, and follow us on Instagram at We Are Geekcentric.
And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, are you worried that Toy Story 2 just beat Toy Story 1? We're ready to hear it. So please let us know at wearegeekcentric@gmail.com.
That's wearegeekcentric@gmail.com. There you go.
And make sure to check me out on Twitch. Again, follow me, twitch.tv/NatePlaysGames. We're going to be playing some more Ori, some more Animal Crossing. I'm also thinking of getting some Doom Eternal going on for a little bit more of a mature audience.
Okay.
So if you want to see some crazy violence, definitely join in, and it'll be a lot of fun to hang out and chat with me in the chat.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, guys, thanks again for joining me for today's
you.
social distancing episode. It's good to see your faces
Yeah, let's do it
after
again.
5 long weeks. Yeah, we should definitely do it again. I think we should do it next week if you guys are down. So
down.
we'll definitely set that up. But until then, as we say,
Love ya.
Stay home safe, guys.
peace, guys.